Hey everyone, today we're going to go over the lightweight for distance. It is very similar to the heavyweight for distance. We're still throwing out of that same 9 by 4.5 trig. The rules are the same, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, as long as one's in control, still hook gripping. So we're not going to go over that. If you're interested in rules or anything like that, you can refer to the heavyweight video. But we're going to jump right in to a full throw with the lightweight. This is 28 pounds for men and 14 pounds for women, and the masters will throw the same thing. All right, let's go check it out. All right, so for the lightweight for distance, it's going to look very similar to the heavyweight for distance. We still want to keep that arm long and straight. We don't want to pull it in. We also want to still keep that upright posture. We're going to set up very similarly to heavyweight. Still have that 1 foot in, 1 foot out, facing the direction you're going to end up throwing. Same thing with the cast. Get it moving, bring it behind you, you're gonna push it around, we're gonna switch feet. Then from here, we're gonna sprint, 1, 2, and throw. So on the surface, it looks very similar to the heavyweight. However, it is different, and one of the biggest differences is how and when you accelerate the weight. So because it's a little bit lighter, that first foot switch is going to happen a little bit sooner to make sure that we end up in a nice spot with our shoulders back. In the heavyweight, in turn 2, you push it down to 12 and then start your sprint. With the lightweight, we can be a lot more violent. We can be a lot faster with that acceleration. So when you land back at turn 2, instead of pushing it down and sprinting, we're gonna land here and we're immediately going to throw it down to 12 o'clock. Now, 12 o'clock being the opposite way of what we're throwing. So we're gonna land and immediately throw it down. We'll still keep in that left arm straight, all that stuff. We still wanna keep the weight behind our hips. So we wanna throw down to 12 and sprint. We don't wanna throw all the way around and then try to catch up to it. So we're going to get it moving, come around, switch feet from here, throw it down and start that sprint. Do not push it all the way around like this. It's gonna be really hard to catch up to. I don't know if you're that fast. I'm certainly not fast enough that if I throw it out in front of me, I'm not gonna be able to turn fast enough to get a good wrap at the end. So land here, we're gonna throw it down to 12, sprint, and then from here, we're going to throw it down again, really violently, and let that help us finish. With the heavyweight at the finish, if you're landing in the same position, we get a big push and we're kind of lifting with the legs and pushing it out into the field. With the lightweight, you are throwing it down and then almost sort of holding on to the end. If you can get a little push at the end too, great. But a lot of that acceleration isn't gonna come, from here. The acceleration is gonna come here. Pushing it down, keep that hip ahead of the weight, push it down, and guide it out into the field.
I have a couple throws for you guys to watch. This first one is just first warm-up throw, focusing on staying long and hitting those good positions. The first thing that I want to point out is that first turn. So with the heavyweight, after you get it moving, you push it around, and right before the weight gets to 90, you're starting that turn to land in that nice wrapped up position in the back. With the lightweight, you can see pretty much as soon as I start it moving around, I'm initiating that turn. Right foot's off the ground before it even gets to 90, and that lets me land in this nice wrapped up position here. From here, we're going to accelerate down, start that sprint, land as wrapped up as possible, and again, throw it down to 12 and out into the field. In these videos, you'll notice that I don't land as wrapped up as I demonstrated, and a lot of that's just me needing to get my feet down faster to land in the good positions. the more wrapped up you land, the more time you're going to have to accelerate the weight. So during practice, really focus on getting in these good positions so that you have as much time as possible to accelerate it and you build good habits. I like this angle here because it really shows where the acceleration's happening. Right when those feet get down, you see it accelerating down and out into the field. I'm not waiting for it to get to that low point and then accelerating upwards. Right when that left foot lands on each turn, I'm starting that acceleration as soon as possible. All right, here's a clip where my finish is not as good as it could be. You can see I fall off balance at the end there, and that's because I'm pulling off. I'm diving that left shoulder down in an attempt to get more speed, but that does not translate to more distance. This throw here actually goes a couple feet farther, even at about the same power I'm putting into it, and it's because I stay more upright. So you see here, I have a much more upright finish. I'm even falling a little to the right. And if we overlay these two, I know it's tough to see, but when I'm more upright, that weight is farther away from that center line. And it being farther away, just that rotational speed on the outside is going to translate to more distance. Now, obviously, you can't take this to the extreme and lean out away from yourself to try to get more distance. You're not going to be able to generate the power in that position that you need. So it's a balance. You want to stay upright so that it is farther away from you and you can still generate the power that you need to get a far throw. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If you have any question or comments, please leave them down below. And I will see you in the next one.